You know, it is always the same thing. We're going to wait. We're actually going to monitor. We're going to monitor this audio this time to see if, well, if it's actually going to work. Let's hope it does. That's usually the take that I do. I will, you know, live stream, and if it fails miserably, well, then I just delete and do it over. I usually don't go past 2 tries. If I do, then that's just too much work. I'll record an offline version of the same thing. So, hooray for failing. Woo! All right, let's pick this up. You can try and not lose the connection with the audio or the what is that? Mini HDMI, micro HDMI. I don't know what's on this camera. What I do know. What about the streams? Where are the streams? Well, sorry about the mic noise. The streams, okay. Basically, this guy here, the HD PVR2, has been set to another purpose for a while. That was taking content off of DVR boxes, TV shows, and movies that were recorded. Well, there's a lot of them, gigabytes worth. So, that is where this has been. If this is coming across super loud, I'm sorry. Anyhow, that is where the streams have been. The studio update is also a kind of more important thing. Let me move this mic again. Now, the studio update. Last time we had the Xenix Q802 mixer down here, and the Xenix Q1202, which is this one, was at the house. So this one has been brought down here because of the 4 mic inputs, and then the Q802 USB is up at the house. So we are actually only using 2 channels right now. And why that is because of this. This is the new gear. This is hold on, let me fix this audio monitoring issue. Just a little bit. Doing this live, you never know what you're gonna get. Okay. The 802 was here. The 1202 is now here. I should just do manual focus, but too lazy. Auto. The 1202 is now here. We have a 4 input USB audio interface. Why we got that was for the input channels on the back. You can see that right there. There's 4 of them. We're only using 2. Why that is to run out down to this Behringer Composer Pro XL, which only handles 2 channels. So we still need another one of those to handle mics 3 and 4. However, we are getting 2 mics. Now, I did hook it up backwards, where instead of mics going into there, we had 4 mics hooked up, only using 3 of them. And so we went mics into the mixer, these cables out of the left and right main, into channel 1 and 2 here, and still use the dynamics processor down here to have gating. And what it has is an expander gate, a compressor, a peak limiter, or makeup gain, a de-esser, and a peak limiter. So the makeup gain is part of the compressor. It works pretty well so far. I'm impressed. I like it better than trying to get on the computer and do all your editing and post. I know you can get basically the same results. What we're looking for is more of a live sound. And I did try to use the gate the first time I tried to do this live stream today, and that is ultimately what failed with the live stream, because I had the gate turned up too high and it was cutting off most of my words, or if I drifted just a few inches from the mic, it wasn't catching what I was saying. So why the update of this crazy gear? Well, let me tell you. we decided to start not one, but two podcasts. We have the podcast for the shop, and it's not the podcast that, that is on YouTube. It is actual an audio podcast. And another one. We have the DTPC podcast that we're using all this wonderful gear to record. And then I have Antisocial Experience. Both podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, iTunes on Mac and PC, Google Play Music, Stitcher, pending approval on one, eventually Spotify, iHeartRadio, and a few of the other, I don't want to call them obscure, but not as popular directories out there. And the Zune directory is not alive anymore. So, yeah, this is a pretty nice setup for doing actual live sound. Why live sound? Well, eventually, long term goal, get to doing a daily show, but I don't. We're trying to get good at doing one episode of an audio podcast a week. Well, two episodes, one for each episode a week. If we can get to there, we'll work our way up to the daily thing. I doubt it, though. It's a good goal, for sure. So, two podcasts, check them out, guys. DTPC Podcast, Antisocial Experience. And I forgot. If you're using an Android device, whatever podcast app you want, if it checks the iTunes API or iTunes library, any of that, you should be able to get either of those podcasts without a problem. Okay, want to throw a huge thank you out to Dave. Without you, none of this. The podcast, the live streaming. I had a little bit of the gear. You brought in all the missing links, so thank you, man. Without you pushing me to do it, me bugging you to do it, none of it would be happening. Two podcasts published on iTunes or Apple Podcasts is what they officially want you to call it now. Amazing. So the website, the blog that holds the RSS feed for the podcast, pretty cool. It's been a learning experience. Without you, not possible. Thank you, Dave. Everyone else out there, stay tuned. Go check out the podcast, subscribe there, or download some episodes, check them out. If you like it, then subscribe. Leave a comment, rate, review if you can find it in iTunes. Unfortunately, iTunes, you have to install it on a Mac or PC. I'm not sure on an iPhone because I don't own an iPhone. I've got Android, sadly. Not really. But yeah, stay tuned. Any comments, questions, send it into the email or on the website, dtcomputers.online, dtcomputers@live.com, or you can email me at antisocialexp@gmail.com and, at Nick Kennedy on Twitter. NICCKENNEDY. I go by the same name on Facebook, so that's basically what we've been up to. And ripping shows and movies from DVRs is what the HD PVR has been up to. So, yeah, hopefully that'll be done soon, and we can resume our goofy live streams. Thank you, anyone for watching. It's been fun. Go check out the podcast, like, comment, subscribe. I don't like asking for that, but I thought I'd throw it in. Alright, till the next one, I hope it was entertaining, informative. This is what we've been doing. We are by no means audio engineers. Most of the time, the camera was probably out of focus. I'm sorry about that. Learning, guys, girls, people. Till the next one, later.